Speech, the power of daily affirmations. Every single day, from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, your mind is constantly absorbing, processing, and storing information. The words you hear, the thoughts you repeat, and the beliefs you hold become the blueprint for your life. Whether you realize it or not, you are programming yourself every single day. The real question is, are you programming yourself for success or for failure? Daily affirmations are one of the most powerful tools to take control of this programming. An affirmation is simply a positive, intentional statement you repeat to yourself until it becomes part of your belief system. And here's the truth, your beliefs shape your reality. The reason so many people stay stuck, unmotivated, or unfulfilled is because their inner dialogue is filled with negativity. Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I don't have what it takes," or "success is for other people, not me." But affirmations flip the script. They overwrite the limiting beliefs with empowering truths that drive action, confidence, and resilience. Think about it. If you tell yourself every day that you're capable, disciplined, and worthy of success, your brain starts to look for evidence to support those beliefs. That's not magic, it's neuroscience. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It only responds to repetition and emotion. So, when you affirm something daily, you're literally rewiring your brain to expect better, to push harder, and to believe more. Let me give you an example. Imagine starting every morning with affirmations like, "I am focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. I attract opportunities that align with my purpose. Every day I'm growing stronger, smarter, and wealthier." Say these with conviction, not like you're reading a script, but as if you're declaring truth. At first, it might feel strange, even fake. But over time, something remarkable happens. You start to believe them. You carry yourself differently. You approach challenges with a new level of confidence, and people around you start to notice that energy, that shift in your presence. The problem is, most people do the opposite. They repeat negative affirmations all the time without realizing it. "I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I'll never make it, life is unfair." These are affirmations too, but affirmations of defeat. And the scary part is, if you repeat them long enough, they become your reality. That's why Dan Martell and so many other high performers swear by daily affirmations. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about choosing which voice you want to amplify inside your mind. Do you want the voice of fear and limitation, or the voice of courage and abundance? Here's the beauty of affirmations. They don't require money, connections, or special tools. All they require is your voice, your intention, and your consistency. Just 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before bed can completely transform the trajectory of your life. Now imagine this, 365 days from now, after repeating powerful affirmations every single day, you won't just think differently, you will be different. Your habits, your results, your relationships, even your income will reflect the new mindset you've built. That's the power of consistency. That's the compound effect in action. So if you want to change your life, start by changing the words you repeat to yourself. Because the reality is, you become what you believe, and you believe what you affirm. From today forward, make a decision. No more negative self-talk, no more internal sabotage. Replace it with affirmations of power, courage, and growth. Speak life into your goals, speak strength into your struggles, and watch how the universe begins to respond. Your future self is listening to the words you say today. So speak greatness, speak discipline, speak abundance, and soon enough, you won't just be saying it, you'll be living it. Speech, the compound effect of small habits. One of the most underestimated forces in the world is the power of small, consistent habits. We often believe that success comes from massive breakthroughs, life-changing events, or giant leaps forward. But the truth? Success is rarely about one big moment. It's about the tiny, almost invisible decisions you make every single day. That's the compound effect. Think about it like this. If you eat a burger and fries today, nothing dramatic happens. You won't gain 10 pounds overnight. If you skip the gym once, your body doesn't fall apart immediately. On the flip side, if you read 10 pages of a book, you don't become a genius tomorrow. If you save $5 a day, you don't become a millionaire by the weekend. But here's the secret. It's not about today. It's about the accumulation of days. Small habits, repeated consistently, multiply over time and create massive results. Imagine this scenario. 2 people start at the same point in life. One chooses to read 10 pages a day, exercise for 20 minutes, and put $5 into savings. The other chooses to watch an extra hour of TV, eat junk food, and spend everything he earns. After 1 week, there's almost no difference. After 1 month, still barely noticeable. But after 1 year, the difference is dramatic. One person is healthier, smarter, and financially stronger, while the other is stuck, frustrated, and declining. And after 5 years, they're living in 2 completely different worlds. That's the compound effect. Success and failure are not results of giant leaps, but of tiny, consistent choices that compound into something unstoppable. Now here's where it gets powerful. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. That's where most people go wrong. They try to change everything at once, and when they fail, they quit. Instead, pick one small habit and master it. Maybe it's drinking more water, journaling 5 minutes a day, or making 1 sales call. Small, easy, repeatable actions. Once it becomes automatic, layer another one. Step by step, brick by brick, you build a foundation so strong it can't be broken. The beauty of the compound effect is that it works both ways. Positive habits compound into growth, but negative habits compound into destruction. Every time you procrastinate, every time you say tomorrow, every time you choose comfort over progress, you're compounding failure. And the scary part is, you won't notice it until it's too late. That's why it's so important to be intentional with your daily actions. Let me give you an example. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, built his fortune not by making one lucky investment, but by compounding small decisions over decades. The same principle applies to your health, your business, your relationships. Compounding doesn't just apply to money, it applies to life. So ask yourself, what are the small habits you're committed to repeating every single day? Not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, every day. Because discipline compounds, consistency compounds. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've built a life that once seemed impossible. If you want to change your future, don't wait for some massive breakthrough. Don't wait for the perfect day, the perfect moment, or the perfect opportunity. The perfect opportunity is right now. It's hidden in the small, seemingly insignificant choices you're making today. So start small, but never underestimate the ripple effect of those small actions. Because over time, those ripples turn into waves, and those waves will carry you to a life beyond anything you've ever imagined. The compound effect isn't glamorous. It's not flashy. It's slow, steady, and often boring. But it works every single time. And those who master it don't just win once. They keep winning for life. So remember this. Your habits today are shaping your tomorrow. Choose them wisely, stay consistent, and let the compound effect do the heavy lifting. Speech: mastering time over money. There's one thing every successful person eventually learns. Money can be lost and earned again, but time never comes back. Once it's gone forever. That's why the most impactful decision you can make in your life is to stop obsessing over money and start mastering time. Most people trade their hours for dollars. They wake up, go to a job they don't love, spend 8 to 10 hours working, and then come home exhausted, only to repeat it again the next day. They believe that if they just work harder, if they just put in more hours, eventually they'll get ahead. But here's the harsh truth. You can always earn more money, but you will never get another 24 hours back. Think about it. The wealthiest people in the world, people like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, or Dan Martell himself, all have the exact same 24 hours as you and me. The difference isn't the amount of time, it's how they use it. They understand that time is the ultimate currency, and if you learn to manage it, protect it, and multiply it, you will always outpace those who chase money without strategy. Mastering time means shifting your mindset. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Start asking, how can I buy back my time? Because here's the secret. When you protect your time, money will follow. For example, many entrepreneurs waste hours doing tasks that could easily be outsourced. Replying to emails, managing spreadsheets, handling things that someone else could do for a fraction of the cost. Why? Because they think they're saving money. But in reality, they're losing time, the one thing they can't replace. Imagine if you freed up those hours to focus on growth, creativity, and impact. That's where the real wealth is created. Let me give you a dramatic contrast. Person A spends all day chasing small money, coupon clipping, saving pennies, or doing everything themselves. Person B invests in systems, automation, and people who can handle tasks so they can focus on strategy, vision, and high-value decisions. Over 5 years, Person A is still stuck grinding, while Person B has scaled their income, built freedom, and bought back their time. That's the difference between being busy and being productive. Mastering time also means learning to say no. Too many people say yes to everything. Yes to distractions, yes to obligations, yes to things that don't serve their goals. Every yes is a no to your dreams. Every wasted hour is an hour stolen from your future. If you want to live at the highest level, you must guard your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Another critical point, time mastery is about priorities, not schedules. You can have a perfectly organized calendar and still be wasting your life if you're focused on the wrong things. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Ask yourself, if I could only accomplish one thing today that would move my life forward, what would it be? Do that first, and you'll be ahead of 99% of people. Here's the most empowering part. When you master time, money stops controlling you. You stop living paycheck to paycheck, stop being chained to a desk, and start building a life of freedom. And freedom isn't just about wealth. It's about owning your days, your energy, and your choices. So, I want you to pause and reflect. Are you treating time like your most valuable asset? Or are you spending it carelessly, as if you'll live forever? Because every day that passes is a day you'll never get back. The people who rise above, the ones who build extraordinary lives, are not the ones who just chase money. They are the ones who master time. If you do this, you won't just become rich. You'll become free. Speech. Building unshakable self-discipline. If there's one trait that separates the average from the extraordinary, it's not talent, not luck, and not even intelligence. It's discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And let me tell you something. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline builds empires. Most people live their lives ruled by emotion. If they feel motivated, they work hard. If they don't, they procrastinate. If they're excited, they give their best effort. If they're tired, they give up. That's why so many people never reach their full potential. They're waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, or the perfect environment. But discipline doesn't care about moods. Discipline says, I'll do it anyway. Think about it. The athlete who gets up at 5 a.m. to train when everyone else is sleeping. The entrepreneur who makes one more call when others quit. The student who studies late into the night while others waste time scrolling on their phone. What drives them is not motivation, it's discipline. And that's why they win. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It's about freedom. At first that might sound backwards, but it's true. When you have discipline, you control your actions instead of your actions controlling you. You free yourself from laziness, distraction, and regret. You stop being a prisoner to excuses, and you become the architect of your future. Here's the reality. Talent will get you noticed, but discipline will keep you successful. Luck might give you an opportunity, but discipline will ensure you're ready for it. Motivation might get you started, but discipline will carry you across the finish line. Without discipline, everything else crumbles. So how do you build unshakable self-discipline? It starts with small, consistent commitments. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one promise to yourself. Wake up at the same time every day, exercise for 15 minutes, or commit to reading 10 pages. Keep that promise no matter what. Every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself. And that trust is the foundation of discipline. Here's the key. Discipline grows when you choose long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Every time you resist the urge to hit snooze, skip the gym, or binge on distractions, you're training your mind to value growth over instant gratification. Over time, it becomes who you are, a disciplined person. But let me warn you, discipline is not glamorous. It's lonely. It's waking up when no one is watching, doing the work when nobody is cheering, and showing up day after day in silence. People won't always notice your grind, but they will notice your results. And when those results come, they'll call you lucky. But you'll know it wasn't luck. It was discipline. Look at history's greatest achievers. From world-class athletes to self-made billionaires to leaders who changed the world, they all had one thing in common: unshakable self-discipline. They refused to let excuses define them. They built habits that became unstoppable momentum. And that's why their names are remembered while others are forgotten. So ask yourself this: do you want to live a life of excuses or a life of results? Do you want to be average or do you want to be exceptional? The answer lies in your discipline. Every time you're tempted to quit, remember this. Discipline doesn't just shape your day, it shapes your destiny. Build it, protect it, and never compromise it. Because once you master discipline, there's nothing in this world you cannot achieve. Keynote 5. The mindset of extreme ownership for your video. Speech. The mindset of extreme ownership. If you want to transform your life, your business, or your future, you must embrace one powerful principle: extreme ownership. What does that mean? It means taking full responsibility for everything in your life, your successes, your failures, your circumstances, and even the things you cannot control. Most people live in the opposite mindset. They point fingers. They blame their boss, their parents, the economy, the government, or even luck. They say things like, if only I had more opportunities, if only life was fair, if only people supported me. But here's the truth. Blaming others doesn't change your life. Owning your actions does. Extreme ownership means this. If something goes wrong, you don't ask, whose fault is this? You ask, what could I have done differently? How can I fix this? What lesson can I learn? When you adopt this mindset, you stop being a victim and start becoming a leader. Think about it. The most successful people in the world all have problems. They face setbacks, challenges, and unfair situations just like everyone else. The difference is, they don't waste time complaining about it. They take ownership, adjust their strategy, and keep moving forward. Let's take an example. Imagine you start a business and it fails. Most people would say, the market was tough. Customers didn't understand. My partner let me down. That mindset keeps you stuck. But someone with extreme ownership would say, I didn't research enough. I didn't communicate clearly. I didn't adapt fast enough. This failure is mine, which means the power to change it is also mine. Do you see the difference? One mindset gives away power, the other takes it back. Ownership doesn't just apply to big goals, it applies to everyday life. If you're late, own it. If you make a mistake, own it. If you miss a target, own it. No excuses, no blame, no hiding. Because the moment you take ownership, you gain control. And when you're in control, you can change everything. Now let me be clear. Ownership doesn't mean beating yourself up or living in guilt. It means using every mistake as fuel for growth. It means asking, how can I improve? Instead of saying, why me? The people who rise above are not the ones who avoid mistakes. They're the ones who own them. Learn from them and grow stronger. Here's the powerful part. When you practice extreme ownership, people respect you. Leaders emerge from those who don't shift blame, but accept responsibility. In your career, in your relationships, and in your personal growth, ownership builds trust. People know you're reliable, accountable, and unstoppable. On the other hand, when you refuse to take ownership, you stay stuck in mediocrity. You become the person with 1,000 excuses, but no results. And excuses never build legacies. Extreme ownership is hard. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to face your flaws and weaknesses. But it's also liberating. Because when you realize that your life is 100% your responsibility, you also realize that your success is 100% in your hands. So ask yourself, are you living as the driver of your life or as a passenger? Are you taking control or letting life happen to you? Because the truth is, you can't change the cards you're dealt, but you can always control how you play them. From this moment forward, commit to extreme ownership. Stop blaming. Stop excusing. Start owning. When you do, you'll unlock a level of growth, power, and success that most people will never experience. Remember, excuses will always keep you stuck. Ownership will set you free. Speech. Designing a life of purpose and legacy. At the end of the day, money, success, and recognition are all temporary. They come and go. But what truly lasts, what truly matters, is the impact you leave behind. That's why the most important decision you will ever make is to design a life of purpose and legacy. Too many people drift through life without direction. They wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, and repeat. They're surviving, not living. They measure success by the size of their paycheck or the car they drive, but deep down, they feel empty. Why? Because true fulfillment doesn't come from things. It comes from purpose. Purpose is the fire that gets you out of bed in the morning. It's the why behind everything you do. It's knowing that your life is bigger than yourself, bigger than comfort, and bigger than chasing the next shiny object. And here's the truth. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment. With purpose, discipline feels like devotion. Ask yourself, what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Not in 50 years, not when you're gone, but right now. What do you want people to remember about you? That you worked hard and made money? Or that you inspired, helped, and lifted others? The answer to that question will define your destiny. Designing a life of purpose starts with clarity. You must get brutally honest with yourself. What do I value most? What breaks my heart? What excites me? What kind of contribution do I want to make to the world? Your answers will reveal the path you're meant to walk. But here's the key. Purpose is not found, it's created. You don't just stumble upon it one day. You build it through action, choices, and consistent alignment with your values. If you want a purposeful life, you must design it intentionally. Think about people like Martin Luther King Jr., Steve Jobs, or Mother Teresa. Their legacies live on not because they were perfect, but because they lived with purpose. They asked bigger questions, took bigger risks, and focused on impact over comfort. And because of that, their names echo through history. Legacy is not about fame. It's not about being remembered by millions. It's about the lives you touch, the people you inspire, and the difference you make. Maybe your legacy is building a business that changes industries. Maybe it's raising a family with values and integrity. Maybe it's serving your community or creating art that moves hearts. Legacy is personal. It's your unique fingerprint on the world. The most dangerous trap is to chase success without meaning. You can climb the ladder of success and realize, too late, that it was leaning against the wrong wall. That's why you must design your life with purpose from the beginning. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing today moving me closer to the legacy I want to leave? If the answer is no, change direction. And here's the truth. Living with purpose is not easy. It demands sacrifice, courage, and vision. But it's worth it. Because when you live with purpose, you don't just exist, you matter. You don't just leave behind possessions. You leave behind a story that inspires generations. So today, make the choice. Don't just chase success, design significance. Don't just live for yourself, live for impact. Decide what kind of legacy you want to leave, and then align your daily actions with that vision. Because at the end of your life, people won't remember what you owned. They'll remember who you were, how you lived, and the difference you made. Conclusion. Listen to this every day and change your life. We've traveled through 6 powerful keynotes, each one carrying the potential to reshape your life. We began with clarity of vision because without knowing where you're going, you'll wander aimlessly. We then unlocked the secret of unshakable discipline, the daily commitment that separates dreamers from doers. From there, we uncovered the strength of mindset mastery, learning that your thoughts shape your destiny. We pushed further into taking bold action, refusing to let fear or hesitation hold us hostage. Then we embraced the courage to build resilience, understanding that setbacks are not the end. They are the very stepping stones to greatness. Finally, we came to the heart of it all, designing a life of purpose and legacy, the decision that gives everything else meaning. These aren't just words. These are principles, battle-tested truths lived out by people who have achieved greatness. And here's the most important lesson. Nothing changes until you decide to change. Listening to these words means nothing if you don't act on them. Transformation isn't about waiting for the right time. It's about declaring that now is the time. Think about it. How much longer will you wait? How many more excuses will you allow yourself? How many dreams will you bury under comfort, fear, or procrastination? You have one life, one chance, one shot at writing a story worth telling. Every single day you waste is a page of your book left blank. But here's the good news. You can decide today, right now, in this moment, to take control of your future, to discipline your mind, your body, and your actions, to rise above excuses and distractions, to choose growth over comfort, to design a vision so clear it pulls you forward like gravity, to live with such purpose that your very presence inspires others. Remember, the people who change the world are not the smartest, the richest, or the luckiest. They are the ones who made a decision to show up every day, a decision to fight for their dreams, a decision to live without excuses. And that same power exists within you. If you've listened this far, it's not by accident. Something inside you knows you're meant for more. You know deep down that comfort is not your destiny, mediocrity is not your story, and excuses cannot define your life. You are here to lead, to create, to inspire, to live fully alive. So here's the challenge. Starting today, commit to one action, one habit, one discipline that aligns with the life you want to build. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for motivation. Take the first step, however small, and let momentum carry you. Because small steps, repeated daily, create unstoppable transformation. Years from now, when you look back at your life, you won't regret the risks you took, the sacrifices you made, or the challenges you overcame. You'll only regret the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't chase, and the excuses you let win. This is your moment, your time, your decision. Don't let this message fade into background noise. Let it fuel your soul. Let it drive you to action. Let it remind you every single day that you have everything inside you to change your life. Because when you live with clarity, discipline, mindset, action, resilience, and purpose, you don't just live a life. You build a legacy. And that legacy begins right now.